Everyone, how's it going? Hope you had an absolutely fantastic week. As you probably know, I've been on the road in my Sunlight motorhome, a brand new one that I picked up recently, and yeah, I've decided to come back to where I grew up. This is Hebden Bridge. This is the house that I was actually born in. I was born in one of these rooms in this house. I wasn't born in a hospital. This is Hebden Bridge in West Yorkshire, and this is actually the Pennine Way. So up there is one of the more famous walks in England. So yeah, it's a pretty nice place to grow up. Today I'm going to take this camera, my GoPro, and I'm going to show you some of my old spots, my first gaps, like my first drops, some of the bigger moves which I probably can't even do now. And yeah, fingers crossed it hasn't changed too much and there's still some riding. So like I mentioned, this is the house where I grew up. I used to have a trials area in this place now, which is a little bit overgrown thanks to my dad. But yeah, I used to live here with a friend. We had a trials area in here. We used to ride on these walls. And yeah, it looked messy, but it was real good fun. But anyway guys, shall we get riding? So I used to come out here and then straight down here. And actually I used to ride on these walls. It used to be slightly different before the fence was there. Just trying to get up on these walls, gap between them, gap onto the box. There's a drop gap down to this wall. You could try and get up onto that wall. So yeah, this was quite a popular trials area that I used to come and practice, literally just meters away from my house. But then the railway track came and put this fence in the way, and it kind of ruined it a bit. So yeah, I don't really ride that anymore. Well, I didn't before I left. This was the local little park, and as you can see, I've parked up my motorhome here temporary. In the early days when I just started riding, these walls here were my main riding spot. I remember the first time I got over that wall, and there used to be two of these pillars here. The first time I got up and gapped across that, oh man, that was a good day. Get at the end of this wall. Oh man, how times change. And then gapping this. Yeah. 12 and 13-year-old me trying to ride these walls, that was a challenge. It's funny how things change. I remember the day they came and put this wooden fence here, I was like, no, they've ruined my run-ups and stuff, but it's just another obstacle to try and get over. I always remember this being quite hard. Let's see if I've improved on this. Yeah, a little bit. So right next to this wall, we had this bench, and back in the day I used to see some of the top riders in videos. This is back before super fast internet, so we had to wait like 5 hours for a 10-second clip. But I remember seeing riders riding over benches, and that used to blow my mind. So it was always a massive goal to get over this bench. And like those other walls, I remember the first day I got over it, absolutely stoked. It was sketchy as hell, but I did it. Can't remember the first time I did it. I think I went up 2 wheels like that and then up and over. Oh, it's so easy now, brilliant. But what I wanted to do back in the day was just do it all on the back wheel, so let's do that. Kaboink, kaboink, kaboink. Let's do that. Kaboink, kaboink, kaboink. Oh man, memories. So guys, this obviously was my beginner area, although there's still stuff to push me even to this day. But not far away was the best place ever. We'll just nip across the road. Here we have the Calder River, and just past the river we have the canal. This is actually unrecognizable. This is just, yeah, nothing like it was when I grew up here. So the factory there used to make lock gates, because obviously we've got the canal here, we've got locks. They used to make lock gates, and the great thing with that factory is they used to pile new and old lock gates just in this area. So we had all kinds of different shapes. So sometimes put them at angles, sometimes they were just blocks, sometimes they were 8 foot high, sometimes the shapes and stuff used to change monthly, so it never got stale. Every month we would have a new thing to ride. It was amazing. Plus they used to store all kinds of other things here. There were old like actual barges. They used to transport goods. They used to put those on here like upside down, so they had like ramps, they had hooks, they had drop-offs. They used to pile concrete pipes here, they used to pile rocks here, metal pipes, all kinds of stuff. So as far as somewhere to learn to ride trials, and so close to my house, people have trials parks these days. This was a trials park, and I think that's one reason why I managed to get quite good at riding bikes. I had some friends, got Matt Greenwood, George, Chris, another Matt. We used to always come ride here. Eventually Yolo, Aaron Cook used to come ride with us. We would be here every single day for hours and hours until we needed to go home and have our tea. So yeah, this was absolutely fantastic place to ride, but unfortunately things changed a couple of decades later, and yeah, we've got people living here on their boats, which we didn't have before. But yeah, no more riding, which is a bit of a shame. And if you really old guys remember, back in the day, Ed and Matt Tongue used to bunny hop across a canal on their Pashleys, and that blew my mind, because to me this is how wide a canal is, and now what is that? That's like 14, 15 foot, and I was like, no way could they bunny hop across that. And there was always one day I wanted to bunny hop across here, not knowing that the canal they jumped across was just a single width one. It's still, you know, back in 1998, a pretty serious thing to do, but it was literally half the width of this. I never did dare try and bunny hop across this, and yeah, no wonder why I'm not trying that. But anyway guys, it's about, what is it, a mile and a half, 2 miles into Hebden Bridge, so I'm just going to nip down the canal. There wasn't that many things I used to ride in between here and there, so I guess we'll see you at the next spot. So here's one, once I got a bit better at bikes, was a massive challenge, trying to get over this wall. Now because it's got the angled top, it actually makes it really hard, because you have to travel that way plus up to land right in the top, because if you don't land right in the top, this just pushes you off the back. So I did get over this. I can't remember which bit it was, maybe it was up there. It was hard. Let's try it again. Short run up on this. There we go. And to the path. Got it. All right guys, so this is something I can't remember whether I ever did it or whether it was something I always wanted to do, but yeah, we've got a bunny hop gap here. It's kind of on the big side, although the scary thing is just kind of how narrow this is. The other thing is I really need to be careful, because this wall, this slab is all loose, so I need to definitely land directly on it. But I'm feeling lucky, so let's give this a try. Right, try and get this first try, otherwise this is gonna hurt. All right, that went really easily. Stoked. Well, as far as bunny hop gaps go, that went as good as any bunny hop gap I've ever done. That was so smooth, and the wall didn't fall down. I'm going to chalk that up as a mega success. Right, well so far so good, and we haven't even got into Hebden yet. Might end up being a long video. Right, here's another gap, which back in the day was a massive achievement to get over, so I'm not even going to take my rucksack off for this. Let's just get it sent. There we go. Oh, we've got geese over here. What are you doing here? This was always a real scary wall to ride on. Obviously you've got a big drop down into the river, it's kind of domed, it's uphill, but there's a couple of gaps there, some gaps here which were, yeah, if you're feeling brave you'd come and ride this bit, and you know what, I'm feeling quite brave. No problem. This gap here, again, I don't know whether I ever did it or whether it was one of those dream gap things, but Bit of a hefty drop down there. I don't know whether I did it, but let's do it today because I reckon I've got that. There we go.
Well impressive, man.
Long time no see. How are you doing? Give an elbow maybe? Nice to see you.
Yeah, good to catch up.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah.
See you in a bit. Blazing Saddles. If you're in Hebden Bridge, you want to support a real cool shop, yeah, come and get your bike tuned here, come and buy some parts. They're great guys. Hebden Bridge is a small place, so it's not far to the next spot, so on we go. Right, so it might be a bit busy here today. But this used to be a place you used to come for gaps across here. That was always a challenge to try and gap across here, especially without falling in. This used to be my favorite place to ride in Hebden Bridge, but we'll go up here now. It's completely changed, and unfortunately they made it kind of suck for trials riding. I'll try and explain what it used to be like, but let's go take a look.
It's like spotting the difference.
So there used to, instead of these steps, there used to be a big slope here, like a big flat bank with benches at the bottom and a small wall at the top, which is just brilliant for gaps down, trying to gap up. There used to be another wall lower than that one, which you could go off the banking up onto and then maybe gap across. So there used to be quite a lot of stuff to do here. You could gap from this wall here onto a bench that was there, and yeah, now unfortunately there is not much riding. I'm probably getting funny looks for talking to myself, but maybe we'll put the bag down and see if there's anything to ride anyway. That's slippy. Interesting fact, guys, when I was, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years old, I was here with my mum feeding the ducks and I fell in and started floating away. My mum had to jump in and catch me. That is, well, was one of the best places to ride in Hebden Bridge. Just over the bridge, the bridge of Hebden Bridge, is this area here. This is like the doctor's surgery, and here, well actually here is the buttress. This is known, I think this is still a public highway up here, but let's see if we can take a look. This is just about the steepest hill or road technically in Hebden Bridge, and they hold races up here. I mean, look how steep that is. Hopefully that shows on camera. And if you follow SatNav might try and take you up here to go to Heptonstall. It is possible to drive up here. My friend Yolo got up here. I don't know what car it was, but it did make it up. But yeah, don't try and drive up this. Not a good idea. I'm not going to take on the Butcher's challenge. I've got a challenge of my own here, and that is a drop gap. This was one of the first big gaps that I ever did, and to this day that is actually still a pretty decent gap. You might not get a good view from it here. Let's go around and take a look. I honestly don't know whether I could do that now. That is a pretty hefty gap. I can gap pretty far, but it might be out of my limits, and a bit of a drop on this side, so if you get it wrong, yeah, you don't want to go over the bars on that. But I don't know, I'll take my camera out of my bag and take a look at it. Ah, oh, so close. Ah, oh, closest yet. There we go. it took me about an hour to even just get up the 2-foot side on that side, but I eventually got the gap, so still got it. Right, so slap bang in the centre of Hebden Bridge now. It looks like there's a market about to on or being on or whatever, but these walls are always really cool fun. But they've changed it. This has changed probably the most since I've left. This is all new. That box wasn't there. That wall wasn't there. There's some steps going down. That roof wasn't there. This is completely different. And it actually looks like could be quite good fun. So gonna have a look, see what's rideable. Hopefully none of this will get in the way. And fingers crossed we'll find something good to ride. Oh yeah, this is still here. Right, let's give this a try. There we go, that works out all right. I'll tell you what guys, if you're in your TGS riding, big gaps and drop gaps, that's a hefty gap from that to that wall. It's also quite a sweet gap there. I hate carrying my bike up places, but kind of tempted to take a look at that. What do you reckon? In Scotland, people seem to be really cool with riding. Everyone's seen it because of Danny, whereas down here, I'm not so sure how accepting people are, but so far people have been super friendly. Right then. So even if I don't make it, going down there isn't the end of the world. There we go. Oh, that actually felt really small. Right, if I lived here, I'd blatantly at some point been dropping off that, so I haven't done a big drop for a while. Should we just send it? I reckon so. Oh man, I wish there was a way to ride up this. The next spot, which wasn't really a spot, well it kind of was, but then they changed it, is literally here, just across the road. I love how close everything is here. In Glasgow I have to ride like 5 miles to each spot. So here we have a kind of marina area. There's a line over there which I never dared do, but I always wanted to do. But I used to love riding on these walls, but then they went and put chains on it. So this used to be a really cool wall to try and side up, just get up anyway. I remember the first time I rode down this wall, but they're gonna put this post in the way. So just lots of little things that have made really cool spots just not work anymore, which is a shame. But if I can avoid being bitten by the geese, because they always used to be really angry, we've got this bit here which I always wanted to bunny hop across. So obviously on the way here I mentioned the Tongue brothers with Pashley bunny hopping across canals. This is pretty much the perfect setup other than all the bird crap. I never ever did it though. Maybe today's the day. The cool thing about this setup is you could actually practice it here where there's no water, but it's like the bumpiest cobbles ever. The only real smooth spot is over here, and yeah, you have to go over the water for this bit. Let's take a look. Watch out, birds. Yeah, what are we looking at here? You have to go a bit of an angle, which makes the gap a little bit bigger. But yeah, I reckon I could give that a go. Do you two mind if I land over there? Sorry you two, I kind of need to go here, please. Nice one. If you stay there, I could bunny up over you. You know what guys, this still, it doesn't seem small. I reckon I actually might go a bit straighter. Just bunny hop it. If I go fast enough, it'll be fine. Here it goes, I guess. No style points, but that has been 23 years in the making. Doesn't seem like much. That went really quickly, over in a flash, but yeah, in my 20 odd years of riding Hebden Bridge, I've never dared bunny hop over that. Got it today. You know what guys, we're gonna do it for a second angle. Gonna play with the fire a little bit more. It's a warm enough day. If I fall in, it's gross, but at least it'll be cooling. A little bit more style on that one. So there is actually a skate park in the park over there that I want to show you. I can see it's really busy though, so I don't think I'm going to do any riding. I'm a bit out of practice of skate parks. I get self-conscious talking in front of that many people to a camera, so I'm just going to scoot over there, show you the skate park, because actually it's not a bad concrete little skate park, and then I might just go onto the grass and explain something cool that used to happen in exactly that area before there was a skate park. So let's zoom over there.
Oh my god!
I'm coming at you.
You're welcome. Oh my god! You're welcome. Oh my god!
So I've just had my little session in the skate park. It's actually a really cool little skate park, way better than what was here before. And even before there was any skate park, this is a cool story. This used to be just the same, this was just field all the way, but Hebden Bridge has a really famous bonfire every year. I'm not sure if they still do, but they used to have it exactly where the skate park is. When I was younger, they used to build the bonfire with wooden molds, old random blocks, wood shapes. It was actually quite substantial wooden stuff. Some of it was really big, like head height stuff, and we would just come down and make insane trials obstacles out of all this stuff before they set it on fire. Then they started putting fences around it, which was really annoying, and then they started just making it out of hay bales, which was just useless. So there was a really good times where we could come and ride and build our own sections out of these random wooden obstacles. That was good times. And I think people think I'm crazy or talking to myself and doing these hand gestures. Right, let's move on. There's still some more to show you.
Are you Ali Clarkson?
I might be, yeah. Are you guys followers?
Yeah.
Ah, cool, good stuff, man. Down here, I'm not going to ride it now. It's I think it's a memorial area now where people come and put poppies, but this whole area used to have trees and a little island in it. It used to have rocks. You could actually gap from the rocks onto the benches. That was actually a really big gap. I remember doing that back in the day. And yeah, they've gone and ripped it all up. Fair enough, it's looking pretty nice, but this was always a real cool place to come and ride when we were younger. And here's something mildly interesting. These benches, I always remember thinking it'd be so cool to go across the back wheel on those. I could never quite get up onto them, because that to me in the time was quite a big jump up. And I remember some quite well-known rider back in the day, I can't remember who it was, it may have been one of the Trials Kings, maybe Danny Hoyroyd or Adam Burns, something, came and rode Hebden Bridge. I remember he came and just did these and it blew my mind. I was like, no way, someone's actually finally done them. Yeah, looking at them now, they're pretty damn easy, but it blew my mind back in the day that someone could just hop up those and go across them. It was always a dream of mine. Why don't give him a try just for old time's sake? Let's see if I can upgrade this. Let's see if we can do it all on the front wheel. Oh, ow. It's the first shinner I've had for a long time. It used to hurt when I hit my shin, but I think after 23 years of doing it, I've lost all sensations in my leg. The only reason I don't like having shinners now is because it just looks messy. Ugh. Right, taken 23 years, but I've upgraded the bench gaps. Oh man, never even thought I could do that on the front wheel. That was never even an option back then. Took a while, spilt some blood, but I got it. Stoked. Oh, I'm exhausted. I just walked up the buttress, that steep cobbled path I was telling you about. That thing goes on for a long time and it's really, really slippery. But when you get to the top, you're treated to a graveyard which happens to have one of the best views. Look at that, that's Hebden Bridge, and it's such a beautiful place. So here's something you may not know about Hebden Bridge. Hebden Bridge is extremely liberal, therefore it's actually the lesbian capital of Britain, which may be a reason why I couldn't get a girlfriend here, but jokes aside, Hebden Bridge is an extremely cool place, very open to new ideas, and yeah, if you are gay, bi, whatever, then Hebden Bridge will accept you. It's hit me right in the feels to come back and ride some of my old spots, so I really hope you enjoyed the story, some of the history of where I rode, some of the achievements that I did, and some of the achievements I've even done in this video 23 years later. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Man, this arm's getting tired, I'm going to swap sides. Yeah, the usual, if you want to support me, see longer videos released when they're made, then hit me up on Patreon. If you want to support me and also get yourself some sweet clothing, then hit up my merch at aliclarkson.com, or if you just want some non-obligation, I do accept PayPal donations as well. Any help you guys want to do will really, well, it really does help make this channel possible. My only income is from this channel, so any help is massively appreciated. Anyway, so I'm going to see you guys next week. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm sure it'll be fun. Catch you then. Hope you have an amazing one. See you later, everyone. Bye bye.